How y'all doing out there? Uh, my name is Banky. I served 33 years in prison. I just was recently released, less than 4 months and some change ago, a couple of days, 4 months and a couple of days. And during my 33 years of prison, I seen a whole lot of crazy things, man. And just to name a few of them, I would talk to you today about a couple of them I seen, like involving women. Obviously, women is a big part of prison because of the simple fact of the environment that we in. That you are without a woman. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, even if you got a woman, you don't have a woman. So that's a major issue in prison. But at the same time, they have a lot of women working in prison. I remember when I first started and I first got locked up, there wasn't that many women in prison. But as time went on, women more so now dominate the prison. It's like maybe 50-50 or even 60-40. There's a lot of women that work in prison now, men prisons. So with that being said, they all be at risk to abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, you know what I'm saying, mental abuse. And at the same time, they still come in there and go to work because they got bills and stuff to pay. So, they got to do what they got to do as well. But some of the craziest things I seen in prison was with women, man. And the way I was raised, I don't approve of beating up women and things like that, especially by men, So I almost got killed one time myself on the street. I was with my aunt and I seen a dude beating a woman up. When I was young, I was like 16, and I jumped out the car and tried to help her because we was at a stoplight, and I was gonna run up on him, and he pulled a gun out on me. So he was getting ready to shoot me. He told me to mind my business, and that was a lesson right there for me because my aunt told me too. She said, don't never do nothing like that because you don't never know what the situation is and you never know what's going on with other people or what that is. You can run out there and try to help her and think you helping her and she can be with him tomorrow. That just might be the way they live. So that was a life lesson, and that lesson carried on with me through life. And I say that because I remember when I was in prison, I was at Augusta, so I hadn't even been locked up but a couple of years. And I remember they had females working in there on the floor then. And I remember a female, they had to come in, if there was a floor officer, they had to come in sometime and they had to go and open the mop closet where you can get the mops out, the brooms, the chemicals to clean your cell or whatever. So man, she walked by a couple of times, opened the closet, getting stuff out, going back. And people that's out there sitting there watching TV is no chaos, there's no friction or anything that I know of. And man, she came through one time and then she was walking by and this dude just stood up just as quietly and calmly and just walked up to her as if he was gonna walk past her and reached out and grabbed her and slammed her down to the ground and ripped her shirt open and started punching her all in the face. And she's fighting back and he's punching her, ripped her shirt off, ripped her bra off. Now I go back to what I told you, I'm not accustomed to seeing dudes do this to women. But the dynamics of where I'm at, I'm in prison, and this is a whole different environment. And for you to get involved with that could cost you your life, you know what I'm saying? It costs you your reputation as well in prison for trying to help the police, even if it's a woman. And when you lose your reputation in prison, there you can very much lose your life because your reputation is what's going to keep people off of you. The ability for them to know that you a stand-up dude, the ability for them to know that you will be violent at the highest rate if you have to. That's what keeps dudes up off of you. So when you do something outside of them parameters of those codes, then you start being looked at different, which you will, eventually have to prove yourself again. So those are little dynamics in prison that's just crazy. But for me to be watching that, it was just like, it was gut-wrenching because I hadn't seen nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? And he's just beating a woman and beating her, man, and they call for help. And the people run in there and they jump on them and they get them up off of them and they coming, 15, 20, then 30, just the whole compound will come when it's involving an officer, which is another whole story in itself because if it was a guy, they coming, but they ain't coming like that. But, they got him up off of him, man. They was beating him up real bad in the pod and she was naked and she's just screaming and stuff, and then they literally held him down and let her come jump on him, and she was punching them all in the face and everything. And the crazy part about it was I don't even know why he did it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he had prior beef with her or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I just don't even know why he did it, but it was just a shocking eye opener for me when I first got in prison to see something like that can and did happen, you know what I'm saying, to a female. Like I said, I was at Augusta, so we talking about the late 80s, and I can fast forward all the way to like 2007. I was actually in the cell with this guy. He was a real quiet dude, a real humble dude, you know. I think he had a little bit going on with him, like he was, you know, a little messed up in the head. He had just recently lost his mother within a couple of months when I came in the cell with him. But he was super quiet, man. I mean, he barely talked at all. And then when he did talk, he talked in such a whisper that you could barely hear him. So we had an officer up there, a female officer, and she was real, like, arrogant and real picky. And she'll don't like you if she get to the point where she don't like you. She'll just edge at you all the time. And when you in there, you ain't got no control over that. You have to take it as it comes. So she used to get on him all the time because he was so quiet, and he had a nonchalant attitude. You could say things to him, and she said, well, you better get up and you better be up at count time. And he just wouldn't even argue with her, which when you're dealing with some people, that infuriates them more when you don't argue back, when you don't say nothing, because they feel like that you just ignoring them. So a lot of people get more upset about that than they do when you cuss them out, because I guess it's a lack of acknowledgement. But he did that to her all the time, man, and she just kept writing them charges and writing them charges. One day, man, she came by and she said something to him. And he told her, he said, you better leave me alone, man. I'm end up hurting you. And she was like, what you say? He said, you heard what I said. She said, no, say it again. He just ignored her. She left. She wrote him a charge that day for threatening her. So the next day they served him the charge, and he's sitting in there, and he got the charge, and he was showing it to me, and he was talking about, man, I can't believe she wrote me a charge for this, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, man, you just gotta leave her alone. Don't bother her. Don't say nothing to her. So he leave up out of the room. I'm in there, and I'm cleaning up or whatnot. It was like 10 minutes later. I heard a big ruckus outside, and, you know, you could tell the difference in the noise in prison. Regular noise, violent noise. It's just a difference. Your ear can detect that. So I heard that, so I go to the door, and I heard the police come running there and say, everybody go to your cell, go to your cell, go, everybody lock up. That means something that happened. So my door won't open because it's locked already. When things like that happen, everything shut down. So the dudes was coming to their cell, so some dude standing outside my cell, just sleeping next to me. I said, man, what happened? What's going on? He said, man, your cell partner just punched the lady in the face. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he just punched the lady in the face, the CO in the face on the floor. So I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm in the cell with them, so whatever it is, they come into my cell as well. You know, irregardless, they come into my cell as well because he sleep there. So I was shocked, man, that he did that because of, like I say, his attitude, which also is a testament to prison. Like I say, you can never get too comfortable. You can never know who's who. You can never put limitations on what somebody will and won't do, because I didn't think he would do that, but he did it, you know. And the craziest part about the situation was, when I found out later on, was she came in on the floor and he was down there, and he told somebody that he was talking to. He said, man, you know, the bro wrote me a charge, man, a bogus charge, man. I'm getting tired of her. She done wrote me so many charges. He said, I'm getting ready to go over here and knock her out. So the dude said, yeah, right. He walked right over to her, tapped on her shoulder. She turned around, he punched her in the face. Now, when he punched her in the face, what I was told was she bagged up, she didn't fall down. He walked up to her again, he punched her again. She reached in her shirt pocket and pulled out an ink pen and told him, get away from him or she was gonna stab him. He was standing in front of her, the side door open. Another inmate was coming in and seen it, grabbed her and pulled her in the side